gentlemen, on behalf of the National Gallery of Modern Art, Bengaluru, and the Alkazi Foundation for the Arts, New Delhi, I welcome you all to the inauguration of the exhibition, Homai Vyarawala, a retrospective. I request Ms. Shobha Nambisan, Director, National Gallery Modern Art, Bengaluru, to come and give the welcome speech.
Shri M.S. Satyu, Mrs. Homai Vyarawala, and friends. It is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all on behalf of the National Gallery of Modern Art, Bengaluru, and the Alkazi Foundation to this wonderful exhibition of about 250 photographs of Homai Vyarawala, which span a period of 3 decades and capture the social and political life of a nation in transition. This exhibition is from the collection of the Alkazi Foundation for the Arts, and the curator of the exhibition is Sabina Gadihok. This is the 3rd exhibition in the National Gallery of Modern Art, Bengaluru, in the last 1 year, and it is by far the largest and the most ambitious. We have opened up the large gallery on the ground floor for this great show. I welcome our chief guest for this inaugural function, Shri M.S. Satyu. Shri M.S. Satyu is no stranger to NGMA Bangalore. He had graciously agreed to lend his latest film, Ijodu, for screening at NGMA Bengaluru a few months ago, and had on that occasion come to the NGMA and led a discussion on the film after the screening. The film was so moving that I remember some members of the audience being quite upset with Shri Satyu for not giving the film a happy ending. Shri Satyu really needs no introduction, but I shall describe very briefly some of his achievements. Shri Mysore Srinivas Satyu is perhaps best known for his film Garam Hawa, a film on the partition of India, which won several national awards in 1974. He has also won the Filmfare Best Art Direction Award for Hakikat and the National Film Award for the film Sukha in 1984. Shri Satyu has also directed many theatre plays and short films and documentaries, in addition to feature films and television serials. Shri Satyu was awarded the Padma Shri in 1975. When Sabina, Rahab Alana, and I discussed who we should request to be the chief guest, our unanimous first choice was Shri M.S. Satyu. However, when I contacted his daughter Seema, I was told that he was very busy and would be able to confirm his availability only by the 15th of April. We pondered over the matter and finally decided to wait till April 15th and request Shri Satyu once again. If he were not to be free, then we decided we would not have a chief guest at all. We are very grateful to him for agreeing to be the chief guest in spite of his busy schedule, and we welcome him to this inaugural function. It is our great good fortune that Homai Vyarawala is present at the inaugural function of this exhibition of her work. A great deal has been spoken and written about Homai Vyarawala in the past few years, and a great deal will be spoken about her in the next few weeks in Bangalore. Sabina will no doubt speak about her today and tomorrow also. I shall therefore speak little. But what amazes me is the unassuming and undramatic way in which she cast aside the shackles of convention at every stage of her life. As a young girl studying in the J.J. School of Arts, making a relatively late marriage for that time with a young man whom she had known for the past 13 years, becoming the first woman photojournalist at a turning point in the country's history, cycling to work in Delhi wearing a sari, becoming acquainted with the greatest in the land, suddenly relinquishing everything and cheerfully going back to relative obscurity, and then, as suddenly, being catapulted to fame, her work recognized and applauded, and a Padma Vibhushan conferred, which situation also she has accepted with grace and equanimity. Let me tell you something about Homai, which will give you an idea of the kind of perfectionist she is. She has not come here just for the inauguration. She came here 3 days ago and has supervised the hanging of the exhibition herself. On the 4th, she traveled from Baroda, reached here at about 5 o'clock in the evening, and was here till 8:30 that night, supervising the hanging. Then on the 5th and the 6th, she arrived in the NGMA at about 8:30 in the morning, and from 10:30 in the morning, and from 10:30 to 8:30 at night, she was with us supervising the hanging. NGMA Bengaluru and the Alkazi Foundation applaud the great spirit of Homai Vyarawala and welcome her to this inaugural function. I welcome Sabina Gadihok, the gifted curator of this exhibition. She is at present working as Associate Professor at the AJK Mass Communication Research Center at Jamia University, New Delhi. She is a Fulbright scholar and a documentary filmmaker and camera person. Her film, Three Women and a Camera, which won awards at the Film South Asia at Kathmandu in 1999, is being screened at NGMA on the 15th of May at 11:30 a.m. She has also written a book on Homai, Camera Chronicles of Homai Vyarawala, which is on sale at the NGMA Art Shop and in front of the gallery today. It has been a pleasure and a learning experience for NGMA Bengaluru to be associated with Sabina in putting up this exhibition. I welcome you, Sabina, to this inaugural function. If there is one single person responsible for bringing this exhibition to Bangalore, it is Rahab Alana, the curator of the Alkazi Foundation for the Arts. Over the past 30 years, Mr. Ibrahim Alkazi, the foundation's chairman, has amassed a private collection of photographs known as the Alkazi Collection of Photography. These vintage prints document the socio-political life of the subcontinent from the 1840s till the rise of modern India and independence. I'll have to speak louder. I'll do that. I've got a loud voice. Rahab is the curator of the Alkazi Foundation and has overseen the documentation and research of the photographs in the Alkazi collection. When he came to Bangalore in some other connection in October-November 2010, he told me that he would try to bring this exhibition to Bangalore. He has been as good as his word, and all of us owe him a deep debt of gratitude. I welcome him to this inaugural function. I welcome all of you who are here today. You are all friends of NGMA Bengaluru and have encouraged us continuously by coming here for our various programs. These beautiful photographs chronicle a great turning point in our country's history and present an opportunity for the people of Bangalore to see key events of the past and rare pictures of iconic figures of our national history. They present images of a way of life and capture the dreams, hopes, and disappointments of a generation almost forgotten. I am sure the exhibition will be a great success. I welcome our friends from the media and request you to give wide publicity to the exhibition in the print, radio, and electronic media. As usual, NGMA Bengaluru has organized many interesting outreach programs along with the exhibition. These have been listed in the program brochures, which you can collect from the art shop, as well as from just outside the exhibition gallery. However, I would like to mention two outreach programs which are being organized tomorrow. At 11 a.m. tomorrow, the curator, Sabina Gadihok, and Homai Vyarawala will take a docent walk of the exhibition. At 6:30 p.m. tomorrow, Sabina is giving a talk on Homai Vyarawala, Lady in the Rough Crowd. We hope to see you all for all these events. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nambisan. I now request Shri M.S. Satyu to inaugurate the exhibition by lighting the lamp. I now invite Mr. Rahab Alana, the curator of the Al-Qazi Foundation of the Arts, to speak a few words.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending here today. I have written out a piece, but I think I might skip over some sections. So respected Mr. Satyu, of course, Sabina Gadihok, Director Shobha Nambisan, and of course, Honorable Ms. Vyarawala. To begin with, I would like to thank the tireless effort of the National Gallery of Modern Art for their unremitting support to the Al-Qazi Foundation in making this exhibition a testament to our national heritage. At the core of any collaborative endeavor lies a pulsating, a living, and a growing circuit of initiatives driven by absolutely all those involved. The experience here has allowed us from the foundation to be receptive to the fact that exhibitions of this caliber signal contexts, histories that cannot be complete without a synoptic view of history and the time that is spent ideating and detailing and being receptive to those who have created that history in order to envision the next step forward. In this exhibition, time becomes a very variable entity, and history, heritage, cultures become infused, seamlessly taking and morphing into one another. But at the heart, let us say, of any exercise of looking lies a refraction, a widening lens through which people unite and indeed expand their perceptions. It is often about how life manifests itself through the registers of daily life, and how some moments become transcendental because in their fleeting instant lies a memory. In photography, I would say this: there are now more photographs in archives in different parts of the world than there are actually living people. The population of images has by now outnumbered that of bodies. What are the repercussions of this excess, and how are these repositories